Hi, it's Anna from Balika Homes Design Academy. Thank you for finding your way to this video. So in today's class, I would like to show you how you can prevent distorting SketchUp furniture when trying to adjust its size. So let's get started. Distorting furniture while scaling in SketchUp is a common issue. This lesson, I will guide you through the steps to avoid such distortions and ensure a more accurate adjustments for your furniture pieces. Here I have a boucle bench I created myself. You can find this bench and other furniture and accessory pieces in my warehouse. Simply search for Balika Homes, head over to my profile, and find the piece under the collection folders. Important: always check the scale first when downloading from the SketchUp warehouse. Since some creators start building pieces without actually building it based on real furniture measurements, they can end up being huge or tiny. The challenge lies in navigating in the 3D space within SketchUp, where objects can appear normal-sized no matter if you zoom in or out. Therefore, it becomes crucial to employ guides and precise measurements. If you're very unexperienced in understanding standard dimensions for certain furniture pieces, I would recommend to search for examples of certain pieces like a bench, a bed, and investigate standard dimensions for those furnitures. So to address this, I initiate the creation of guides in SketchUp using the tape measurement tool. By holding down my arrow keys, I can meticulously establish the furniture width, length, and height of the objects. Now imagine a scenario where a piece of furniture appears either too large or too small upon retrieval from the warehouse. Though such issues won't happen if you download some of my pieces, but occasionally you will meet those oversized dinosaurs in the warehouse. So let's say this bench came out too huge from the warehouse. I can now scale it down to a standard bench height of 450 mm or 70.7 inches. So I have my future guides in place, and I uniformly scale it by holding down the Control key on Windows or the Option key on a Mac until it is properly sized when it comes to its height. Now that it's somewhat realistically sized, I can start adjusting it when it comes to its length. I would like to make this bench longer to match my future measurements length. So let's say this bench is going to be 1800 mm long. I'm sure the first thing you will want to try to do is to apply the scale tool on the whole group. Sometimes it can work for certain furniture pieces. I don't say don't use it. The problem of that is, once you start to use the scale tool on the whole group, the material starts to look distorted, and also the bottom feet start to get wider. You know what I mean. So what can you do instead? Start investigating how the component or group that you have retrieved was actually built, meaning click your way through the groups or the component and investigate if there are more groups, or if the whole group or component is an open source. If it contains multiple groups inside the main group or component, that's great, as you can start moving those single objects, like the feet, to another spot without sacrificing them to get too wide. Then you can even go deeper inside one of the single group, like the middle part here, until you can select the surfaces and edges. Ensure precise selection by choosing the correct sections of the surfaces and edges while excluding the upper surfaces. In some instances, moving the lines along the edges can automatically move the surfaces with them. If materials are already applied to the surface, they will remain in place, and SketchUp will seamlessly continue within the existing texture. So remember, always begin by examining the overall measurements of the piece obtained from the warehouse. If adjustments are required, consider scaling uniformly up or down, keeping an eye out for the possibility that the item may already be in its original size. In such cases, tweaking the width or length alone might be sufficient. Instead of relying solely on the scale tool for the entire group, delve into understanding how the furniture piece is constructed. Experiment with moving individual objects or lines and surfaces. Sometimes it's a matter of strategic combinations of those. In my experience, the aesthetics of furniture are often better preserved this way instead of scaling the entire group as a whole. Hope this little tip will help you in rethinking your process when it comes to adjusting furniture to a different size. If you're interested in accessing my full SketchUp course where I teach a whole interior house project, head over to my website linked in the description. See you soon!